On our first story, Jeff Johnston explains just what an electronic trailer sway control system does, then shows us how relatively easy it is to install. Of course, if you're like Tim the Tool Man, you may want to have the unit installed by a professional. Then, on our destination segment, Jeff takes us along to the California High Sierras as he visits one of his favorite RV destinations, where there's plenty to see and do, or you can just do nothing, as this is also a great place to relax and chill out. Later, kids love camping and cooking, and this week Britta Nelson is joined by her nieces, and together they prepare a nice frittata and salad lunch in her trailer kitchen. Yes, the skunks are out already, so this week on Paws on Board, we thought we'd look back at a story Dr. Spitz did about what to do if your dog gets skunked. These stories and more on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Forest River. Follow the river.
Greetings, Jeff Johnston here for RVing Today TV. Adding stability to a travel trailer is always a good thing. The less of that sway that you have while you're towing, the more comfortable and the safer you are in the tow. Well, you can do that by making the correct adjustment between your hitch, your tire pressures, the loading in the trailer, and so on. But even when it's dialed in just like you think it should be, sometimes it's not quite right. In a case like that, you can enhance the stability with a device like this, the Tucson Sway Control. This is an electronic device, fastens to your trailer, doesn't have any modifications on the tow vehicle, and this device is designed to automatically help bring the trailer back in line behind your vehicle in the event that you begin to have a sway situation. And it does that by rewiring the trailer brakes in a way that we'll show you in a little bit here. Now we're going to go ahead and do the installation ourselves to show you that yes, an owner can do this at home. If you feel at all uncomfortable with the idea of tapping into your brake lines or your wiring for the brakes, then don't do it. Take it down to a shop, a certified dealer that can install it for you, because it's really not that big of a deal. But if you're comfortable with wiring, and this is the sort of thing that really excites you and you kind of enjoy doing yourself, well, give it a shot. We're going to go through the process and show you what it takes. The instructions call for the Tucson to be mounted with between 1 and 10 feet back from the hitch ball. Well, this trailer has an underbelly, so rather than dig into the underbelly and have to mess with that, we're going to go ahead and mount it right here in the front, on the first cross member behind the hitch. And this puts it about 3.5 or 4 feet back from the ball, which is going to be plenty of room, because what it needs to be able to do to sense the sway is when the trailer pivots on the hitch ball, the Tucson has to be able to move back and forth in order for the inertial sensors to be able to activate and apply the brakes and do what they're doing to deter the sway. So this ought to work fine. This also gives us ready access to the junction box for the trailer brake wires and so on. It ought to be a pretty straightforward installation. First, we remove the batteries and battery trays, plus the propane cylinder cover, to open up as much access as possible to the wiring areas. All right, the Tucson installs in the center of the frame, side to side. So we'll measure here. That's 43. So we got 21.5 right there. Okay, we have our location marked. So we'll be drilling a couple of holes per the instructions to mount that right about here. All right. The sway control label includes a detailed wiring diagram that helps when you're deep into the project. The owner's manual, likewise, covers all of the details in easy-to-understand diagrams throughout. We're fairly lucky. We have pretty easy access to the brake control wiring and so on. It's right here inside the frame, and the junction box is just up ahead here, so we find everything pretty easy to trace. So it's a matter of following the wiring diagram on the case for the Tucson, and of course the wiring diagram for your standard trailer wiring. It looks complicated, but work methodically, one wire at a time, and it all falls into place. Well, we have the sway control mounted here in the middle of the frame. The wires are tapped into the brake wiring and trailer wiring bundle over here. So we're going to secure all these with zip ties and so on, bundle them up, make sure they don't rattle around while we're driving down the road. And from here, we move back to the wheels and take care of the brake separation back there. Now this is the indicator light that you mount on the far side of the trailer someplace so the driver can look in the rear view mirror, and if the trailer begins its anti-sway activity, the LED lights up. So the driver can kind of get an idea if something's happening back here. The axle brake wires have junctions back here behind the left side wheels. So in order to get a better access to that, we're going to jack the axles up, prop everything up according to industry specs, take the wheels off, and be able to reach the wiring we need to work on. Well, we have the brake control mounted up on the front of the trailer. That's ready to go and wired. Now, what we've done is divide the left side brakes and the right side brakes into two circuits. And the left side brakes are still connected to the original cabling. The new wire here is to connect to the right side brakes. So the brake controller, the Tucson sway control, can control them independently, which is what helps to bring the trailer back in line during a sway condition. Don't be shy about testing and tracing any wires that aren't clearly labeled or color-coded. We finished the installation. It only took us around 7.5 hours, including pauses to shoot video, of course. So all that's left now, go out, hit the road, and see how it works. Based on our last experience with the Tucson sway control, we are positively optimistic. A final test is heading down the road and checking out the trailer's handling in traffic conditions. We had no strong winds to deal with, but lane changes and passing traffic produced no unwanted sway effects. A later freeway test produced the same results, with easily controlled towing and minimal sway reactions. The Tucson sway control does what it's advertised to do. For more information about the Tucson sway control, log on to our website at rvingtoday.tv.
When Thetford launched AquaChem, it didn't take long before it became the #1 selling holding tank treatment for over 50 years. Until now. Meet Aquamax, Thetford's new generation of holding tank products that works even better and are also campground friendly and environmentally safe. Looks like a new #1 is taking over. For more information, visit thetford.com. Want more RVing today? Then visit rvingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in rvingtoday.tv.
The Marble Quarry RV Park is a delightful place to stay when visiting California's Highway 49 Gold Rush country. It's a place that RV travelers of all kinds can land for a few days of fun and relaxation.
Our namesake is a historic marble quarry up on the hill overlooking the park and the town of Columbia, the state park. It was operated between 1918 until the Great Depression when it broke. Another thing that's unique is we're very family oriented, and we encourage people to bring the family dog, the whole family.
We're very dog friendly here at Marble Quarry RV Park. When you check in, we have a bag of treats for your dogs, and we're happy to have your dogs.
We have 85 total licensed sites. Most of them are full hookup RV sites. We have 10 just exclusively for tents, plus we have 6 cabins. Most of our RV sites can also accommodate tents in addition to the RV.
What's your last name?
Native vegetation and scenic natural rockwork create some interesting campsites. It doesn't matter what you drive in the gate, be it towable or motorized, just about any size or type of RV can be accommodated at Marble Quarry.
People ask what size RVs we can accommodate here, and my answer is simple. If it's legal on the road, we can handle it. We have a nice swimming pool that the kids really enjoy on a hot summer day. We have a play yard for kids, especially designed for tiny tots on up to teenagers. We have shuffleboard, horseshoes, volleyball, a tetherball, and a just big, nice lawn they can lounge around on. We're open year-round. We never close. The only day that the office closes is on Christmas Day. And what we put a sign up on the door and say, go ahead and pick a site and stay here. It's our Christmas present to you. So people can stay here 365 days a year, but our office is open 364.
The fully stocked store with food, drinks, RV supplies, and local souvenirs is part of the Marble Quarry facilities. And of course, in case you had too much fun and ran out last night, firewood is available. A laundry facility with a lounge is a good place to cool your heels while the clothes are tumbling.
When people stay here at Marble Quarry RV Park, there's a myriad of things they can do in the area. There's Columbia Historic State Park. They can walk right into that. 7 miles from here in Jamestown is the Railtown 1897 Historic State Park, one of only 2 operating steam roundhouses in the United States, the others in Pennsylvania. And there's a commercial caves in the area. There's just they can go onto our website at marblequarry.com and click on things to see and do, and it just tells them all kinds of things they can do here.
Columbia State Historic Park is just a short walk down the trail from Marble Quarry. It's a restored gold mining town dating back to 1850. Columbia is managed as part of the California State Park system. As many as 6,000 people once called Columbia home. Numerous devastating fires throughout Columbia's early history encouraged the miners to rebuild with brick and stone and, in some cases, steel-framed windows. This was a typical progression for early-day frontier towns. Some of its structures are reproductions, but some of its buildings are original and have been restored to their gold rush glory. Shopping, dining, and historic attractions like a blacksmith shop and horse-drawn wagon tours keep visitors of all ages busy and interested. Visitors can try their hand at gold panning in the Hidden Treasure Gold Mine, but watch that trespassing. Ghost tours, art shows, music events, a harvest festival, and other activities help make Columbia a fun place to visit. For more information about Marble Quarry Park and Columbia State Historic Park, log on to our website.
From off-the-road adventure camping to luxurious full-time RVing and everything in between, Forest River has the RV to fit your needs, budget, and outdoor lifestyle. To see our full line of trailers and motorhomes, visit forestriverinc.com. Forest River. Begin the journey. At Norcol, we realize that some of your favorite RV destinations are off the grid. And Norcol refrigerators are uniquely designed with that RV experience in mind. We call it Freedom Unplugged. To learn more about our Norcol RV refrigerator line or to find a dealer near you, visit our website at norcol.com.
Welcome, I'm Britta, the Trailer Chicks cooker, and today we're going to make brunch. I have some great helpers with me today, and they're going to help me make a really delicious frittata with farm fresh eggs from my neighbor's yard. And we're going to also make a beautiful salad with baby spinach and delicious strawberries. Then we're going to show you a couple different ways you can make toast while you're on the road. So this is my friend Abby, and this is Allie, and they're going to help make this frittata. You guys eat colored eggs? Do you know about these kind of eggs?
Why is there like super small eggs?
Well, these are from the little tiny chickens. These are the smallest chicken eggs I've ever seen. These green ones are from a kind of chicken called the Araucana, and they lay these beautiful green and blue eggs. And then these are from another variety.
Where do you get your eggs?
I actually got these from a friend who has a couple backyard chickens, and I like to eat farm fresh eggs because, for one, you'll see when we crack them, the yolks are really orange, and they're high in nutrients and vitamins, and they're super delicious. Check out the yolk. Look how orange it is.
That's really orange and yellow. I like that color.
So we're going to add fresh thyme. I chose thyme because it goes well with mushrooms and ham and asparagus. About a teaspoon of salt. We're doing about 1 dozen eggs. And then you guys are just going to whip that up. Whip them like you're really mad at them. Okay, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to saute the vegetables. And then when I'm cooking vegetables, I like to give them a little salt because that brings the water out, releases the water. And then we're going to add the mushrooms. And those will have to cook down a little. So once your vegetables have sauteed for about 5 or 6 minutes and the moisture's come out and they're getting nice and tender, then we're going to add, we have ham which is already cooked, so it just needs to be heated up a little bit. So we're going to add that in. So next we are going to put our eggs in. So these have been whipped up really nice. They have fresh herbs, a little salt. And frittatas take about a half hour to prepare. And then what you want to do is just go around the edge and bring the eggs to the middle. It's been about 10 minutes. We've stirred the eggs, brought them in from the outside into the middle. So it's almost set, but you can, as you can see here, it's still a little bit liquid on top. So we're going to throw that in the oven that's been heating up while we've been making this. But before we put it in, we're going to put a little fresh Parmesan cheese on top. To go with our frittata, we're going to make a baby spinach salad. We're using baby spinach because it's in season right now. You could also use arugula, would be really delicious with this, or just mixed greens. Whatever you have on hand would be great. So we're just going to put our greens in the bowl. And then we're going to make a quick vinaigrette. I already have some fresh squeezed lemon juice in here. And then we have some really nice fresh mint here that I've beautifully chiffonaded. There's a little bit of salt in there already, and I like to put the acid in first, add the salt, and that dissolves it. And then we're just going to add some olive oil, about a 1/4 cup. Then we will just put the strawberries on the salad. These are just sliced strawberries. You could quarter them as well. Pour a little vinaigrette on. So when you're tossing it, you just want to make sure that all the leaves are evenly coated. And better to start with a little dressing and add more than to put too much on it. And then we have some toasted almonds here. These are great. Hazelnuts are delicious. Pecans. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of mint on top. And it's ready to serve. It's been about 10 minutes and the frittata's been cooking, and I think it's done. I'm going to check it out. Oh wow, it's beautiful. It's puffed up from the eggs, and it's a little bit golden around the edges, and the cheese is melted and looks fabulous. So to complete our brunch today, we're going to make toast. You have a couple different options for making toast while you're on the road. You can get a beautiful Bodum toaster that'll go perfectly with your decor, or you can use the Luddite method of this little grill here that you just place your toast on. Something that people often forget about is ricotta cheese. You think of butter on toast, you think of Swiss cheese on toast, you think of cream cheese on toast, but do you ever put ricotta on toast? You probably just use it for lasagna, but it's also great in sweet treatments. I love to support local growers by using their jams. It's great when you're on the road to see who's making jam. If you see a little stand by the road, stop, buy some, see what they're making. It's probably the best of the season and you'll be so glad that you stopped by. Fabulous meals are made to be shared with others. Let's go meet our neighbors.
Want more RVing today? Then visit rvingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in rvingtoday.tv. When Thetford launched AquaChem, it didn't take long before it became the #1 selling holding tank treatment for over 50 years. Until now. Meet Aquamax, Thetford's new generation of holding tank products that works even better and are also campground friendly and environmentally safe. Looks like a new #1 is taking over. For more information, visit thetford.com. Be sure and visit our website at rvingtoday.tv and enter the RecPro Spring Makeover Contest. One lucky winner will get a $2,500 store credit for anything in the RecPro catalog. RecPro, your one-stop destination for anything to restore or upgrade your RV. Paws on Board is brought to you by Jones Natural Chews, American sourced and made in America.
Today we're addressing an issue that many RVers face: what to do if your dog encounters a skunk. Although we hope it'll never happen to us, dogs will generally get skunked at the most inconvenient times. Your dog may encounter a skunk in the evening time at home, as skunks tend to be most active at night. Campgrounds are also super common areas for skunk encounters, as they're usually near the skunk's home environment and provide an ample opportunity for an evening snack. The most common side effect of being sprayed by a skunk is, of course, the smell. But did you know that the spray can actually be dangerous to your pet? If your dog was sprayed in the face, it can lead to severe eye irritation and drooling due to the poor taste. You may see your pet's eyes become red and swollen, and they may vomit and drool due to the spray in their mouth. If this happens, you can rinse your pet's eyes with a saline eye wash if available, or clean room temperature tap water. Rinse out their mouth with water as well. If this does not provide relief, your pet should be taken to a veterinarian for assessment. If enough of the spray was ingested, it can sometimes lead to anemia or decreased red blood cells, as the spray can be toxic. This is uncommon, but if your pet is lethargic or weak with pale gums, get them to a veterinarian right away. So what's the best way to rid your dog of the horrible skunky smell? Many of you have probably heard of using tomato juice, but this method is not very effective. You would need gallons of tomato juice, multiple baths. It would likely end up with a red dog in the end, probably like the champ here. So that's not working. An easier method is to use about a quart of hydrogen peroxide, a quarter cup of baking soda, and a few tablespoons of a gentle dish soap. Make up the mixture as needed. It should not be stored for later use. Use the mixture to bathe your pet, but take care to avoid their eyes and mouth. You can bathe them with a pet shampoo afterwards to improve the smell even further. Just make sure that you dry your pet well and put them in a warm environment after bathing. The final consideration you should have if your pet encounters a skunk is rabies. In the US, skunks carry rabies. If your dog decides to challenge a skunk, it's possible that they could have been bitten. If so, your dog should be taken to a vet to have the wound cleaned and treated, and to receive a rabies booster vaccine. Always make sure that your pet is up to date on their rabies vaccine prior to travel to reduce their risk of illness.
For more information on anything you saw in this week's episode, along with additional videos, interesting stories, and RV news, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv. This has been another fun production.